Alrighty, Hoodie Homies, we're going to dive into some questions about my book, which is called Operation Miracle. With this video, I'll be announcing that I am officially starting the second draft. I took a break for Art Fight and other projects, but after a refreshing month and brainstorming about it, I will be back in full swing. In the meantime, to celebrate the first draft finally being done, I'll be answering some questions y'all have asked. How long were you working on it? I have originally been working on it since 2020. It was co-written, but after all the rights were given to me, I took it in a direction I don't think either of us could have seen coming. What was your biggest inspiration for the story? The older Marvel movies, specifically the Captain America movies such as The Winter Soldier and Civil War. After that, John Wick was a huge influence, as well as some aspects of the show Arcane. What genre is the book? Action/romance, I'd say. More specifically, mafia thriller, if you really had to put a name to it. What's the setting? Modern day, perhaps a little bit further into the future by a few years. It really just depends. Anything could be right around the corner, but it's still very realistic in our modern day era. What is it about / what's the premise? The book is about an ex-mafia hitman forced to choose between leaving the organization and disappearing into the isolated unknown without a trace, or saving a little girl who would permanently throw him in the middle of World War III until he either wins against all odds or dies trying. As we follow the decisions of Nate, we learn about what second chances cost, how relationships can bless or burn a broken heart, and whether or not a soldier can be redeemed to be a functioning father. What's the moral of the story? What's the main theme? Second chances cost sacrifice on someone's account. Another theme would be that it is never too late to do the right thing. You're one decision away from walking the right path. Will this be a Christian-based or have Christian themes, or is it just action-filled? I'd say both. It's no story about an apostle, but rather smaller mentions of biblical reasoning scattered throughout the book. Whether you're looking for a Christian book or a book written by a Christian, or even just looking for a book to read, this is supposed to be for you. How did you come up with the story? What prompted it? Well, back in 2020, it was originally The Greatest Showman. It was a circus story that took place in the late 1800s. The characters Nathan, Regina, the Featherwheel family, and the Castine family really hit home with me specifically. So I left the remaining characters behind, some possibly recycled while others left for good, and completely warped the story in a modern-day secret warfare. Where did you get the inspiration for all the characters? Well, Regina is all the aspects of me that I feel on the inside but mask in front of others, or at least I try to. Nate is the icon of masculinity that my brothers and I were taught with a little twist of what we shouldn't be. Nate and his sister represent my younger brother and I. Elle is based off of my best friend. The list goes on. So I guess to sum it up, I get inspired by the people and relationships around me. I also like to daydream about things, so sometimes it just randomly comes to mind. How many books are you planning on making? Probably 4. I know it's at least 3 for the Operation series. As for in total, how many books I'm going to write, you can't ask me that because I haven't gotten that far with all the other projects. And yes, I have a lot of other projects that I actually do intend on finishing, and I'm very excited. Are you going to self-publish your book? Possibly. I mean, if I have to, I have to, but I've also got some buddies in the industry, so I'll be doing research prior to that. Where will the book be / where will it be able to be read? My website, if possible, and definitely Amazon. Things seem to be easy to order that way. Will it be digital or hardcover? Both. I don't know how yet, but both. Who's the black woman? Does she have any relationships with the protagonist? The black woman is Elizabeth, or Elle for short. And yes, she and Nate have a very special relationship. Do you listen to music while writing, and if so, what? Yes and no. I'll put on music if I have a specific mood I want the reader to feel in a scene. If I'm not so sure, I'll just write in silence. The type of music depends on the scene. Most common music will be anything from Message to Bears to Panic at the Disco. It really depends on what I'm writing. What flower would each character be? Good question. I got no idea. Any tips for writing combat scenes? The details matter, but you can't overdo it. Explain where things hit, how the character responds, and perhaps that the character is thinking in the process of the battle. Also, look up a battle scene from a movie and practice writing it out like you're handing it to someone who hasn't watched the movie yet. This is a really great exercise. How did you go about writing side characters? Very carefully. Side characters tend to suck me in more than the actual main characters. I can do a lot of development on them, and that can generally fill in most of my stories anyway. Stories are what happens to characters and how they react, so if I get in the zone, it can be productive with the side characters, but you gotta be careful because then the main character doesn't look so cool. Any tips for beginner writers and artists? Don't stop. You're not gonna feel like it all the time, but art is a discipline just as much as it is a hobby. If you want to make something big, you have to work hard for it. If not, it's okay to make it a hobby, but it's also okay to go past your limits too. What would you tell a beginner artist when creating a new OC? Have fun, be creative, don't listen to any laws of character creation. You can technically do whatever you want when it comes to creativity. Don't let yourself be grounded during the process. Let your mind and pencil soar. Any advice for Christians making creative medias? Not everything needs to be a Bible story in order for it to be a Christian story. Narnia and Lord of the Rings are fantastic works that have Christian symbolism in them. There's nothing wrong with historical fiction, but there's nothing wrong with non-Christian settings with Christian morals either. How do you stay motivated to write a book? I don't write it for me when I write it for others. If you feel unmotivated, thinking about it in that way when you are serving others can make things a little easier. Another way is to realize you find it very fun. You make the rules, so bend them in a way you find it fun to write and brainstorm. If that means drawing your characters or renaming or changing their dynamics or age, then so be it. You really have the freedom to do anything. What are the artists and writers who inspired you to draw and write? Artists would be Wallop and Dtiys. Arcane art and Spider-Verse art also really inspire me. Writers would be Rick Riordan and Marissa Mayer. Stephanie Garber and Holly Jackson also did a pretty good job with the works that I've read. What's the biggest thing that's kept you going when you hit a wall and feel like giving up on art? I have been blessed with a gift, and there is a reason for it. I am encouraged because sharing that gift seems to impact a lot of people. When I'm impacting others for God, it makes everything so worth it. So you really just have to know why you're doing things, and I know my why. What do you hope to gain from writing this book? People to be influenced in a positive way. For people to enjoy the book, as well as maybe build a fandom for it, possibly? I think that would be pretty cool. I'd love for this to be a jump into a world of authorship that I've been dreaming of. Telling stories is my favorite thing to do, so I'm looking forward to the idea of so much as one person reading my book and liking it. And, you know, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but it would be really cool. Thanks to all who participated in the Draw This in Your Style challenge. Each piece that was entered really made my heart fly. Congratulations to the winners, Hooded Echo, Deadshot, and Fan Art Maker. If you want to support me, I have a Patreon. $5 a month gets you access to my quirky little Discord server, as well as exclusive artworks. I also hang out in voice calls every couple of nights, so you might see me in the stream doing some artwork in real time. Whether you're a writer, artist, or just a Christian looking for a community, it's definitely the place to be. If you can afford a coffee, you can afford the Patreon. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and thank you all so much for the support. I know there's not a lot of you guys, but every single one of you means a lot. Thank you so much. God bless Hoodie Homies, and Godspeed.